Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full face of essentially the best of the best products at Sephora that are under $30. So really keeping it at the $30 price point and below, and I'm also going to do demos so that you can really see these products in action, how they apply, how they look on the skin. I'm really excited about this because I feel like there are so many great products at Sephora that are under $30, and I'm going to share them with you today. So let's just get into it because we do have a lot of stuff to talk about in this video because we're gonna do a whole full face. So let's start off with Liquid Illuminator. So I really think the best bang for your buck is the Rare Beauty Liquid Illuminator because it is so ultra pigmented and it's very versatile because it's so pigmented. So a tiny little bit underneath your makeup will still provide you with enough strobe that it peeks out from behind your foundation. You can blend it out with your fingertips and it shears out really nicely, or you can blend it out with a sponge. One of my personal favorite ways to use this illuminator is to use this mixed with a little bit of facial moisturizer. So it just helps give the product a little bit more slip and it makes the product go a lot further because, as I mentioned, this is really pigmented, so the small amount of product it goes far in terms of how intensely pigmented it is, but that's such a tiny bit of product that you can't really stretch it across the skin. So using something like a moisturizer as a vessel to spread this across the skin and get a little bit more coverage over your face is a really great way to not only shear it out, but just get the product to spread further across your face. So I think this is phenomenal underneath makeup, mixed in with your makeup, or worn on top of your makeup. You can really do with it as you please. You can even just mix it in with your moisturizer and wear it that way as well. So because this is so pigmented, you will get so much use out of it. When it came down to foundation, it was definitely going to be a Sephora collection product. I tested 4 different ones. I tested the Clean Glowing Skin Foundation, the Airbrush Mist, the 10-Hour Perfection Wear, and then I also tested the Best Skin Ever Foundation. I really wanted to wear these for multiple weeks and really see like how they perform for me on a day-to-day basis, and the one that gave me the most consistent wear day in and day out was the Best Skin Ever. Now, this is more of a satin matte foundation upon initial application with medium to full coverage. So I typically don't really like a full coverage foundation, but this shears out beautifully to where you can get light to medium coverage if you apply it with a lighter hand, and using a sponge really helps get any excess product off of the skin as well. Now, because this sets down to the satin matte finish, it is inevitably much longer wearing than typical foundations that are more on the dewy side. And I also feel like this is one of those foundations that looks better the longer you wear it. The more time it has to really settle into your skin, kind of mix a little bit with your skin's natural oils, it does start looking more skin-like upon more wear. So the first time I wore it, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was going to just exacerbate all of my dry patches, make my skin look really dull, this, that, and the other, but I was pleasantly surprised to find this to be long wearing, consistent results, you know, depending on the type of situation. And I wore it on a day where I was like really sweating. I went to a live comedy festival, which was outside, and I was sweating, and I don't feel like this looked any worse. Obviously, my face was wet from my sweat, but I didn't think that this wore off patchy. It just kind of looked a little bit faded, but that's expected. It is a makeup product. But this never shocked me by anything bad that it did when I was testing out its performance. I really think it photographs beautifully. I think it looks exceptional in, you know, direct sunlight and when people see you up close in person. And because of that satin matte finish, it doesn't emphasize texture. So if you have a little bit more of, you know, breakouts or visible pores, things like that on the face, I find that this also has a really nice subtle blurring effect on the skin, and just all around a better foundation out of the ones I was testing that I feel like is going to be the most universally liked. And don't be deterred by the satin matte finish because, as I mentioned, it gets more dewy and a little bit more natural looking the longer you wear it, but you can easily just top it with a dewy setting spray and it's not gonna look as matte. But wow, great foundation, $20, amazing, like genuinely so impressed by this. So for concealer, I actually had 2 that were battling it out for the spot in this video. I was either going to do Kosas Revealer or the Stay Hydra Beam. I feel better and more confident recommending the Kosas Revealer Concealer to you because I've been using it for so much longer than the Stay Hydra Beam, which I love as well. But the Kosas one I think is really great because it's ultra rich and creamy. It feels very soft and moisturizing on the skin. So if you have a drier skin type, this is wonderful for sensitive areas on your face, like underneath your eyes or dry patches around the nose, or just any flaky bits that you have on your skin that you can't quite exfoliate off just yet. You're able to easily conceal them with this concealer, and because it's a little bit more dewy, I do find that to give the formula a little bit more flex, because you can wear this without setting it and it's gonna look really creamy and skin-like, or you can set it with powder and it doesn't look any chalkier or dry. You know how sometimes when you use certain concealers and then you top them with powder, it's almost like the concealer starts kind of like cracking and it doesn't have the ability to flex underneath the layer of powder. I've never had issues with that with this Kosas concealer, and I just find it to be such a comfortable wear. And because it's not, you know, luminous or pearly, it also covers pimples and hyperpigmentation and darkness, and just, it does everything for me. So I think this is such a great all-around concealer. As far as setting powders go, I think most of you know by now, I'm not typically someone who wears powder on a daily basis, but especially during the warmer months, I find myself needing powder, and I am ultra picky when it comes to powder, and I just really want a powder that's not going to, again, exacerbate dryness on my skin, give me a gray or dull white cast on my skin. I just want my powder to not really alter the finish of the makeup that I have underneath it. So I'm going to have to give best setting powder to the Laura Mercier Brightening Under Eye Powder. This is even more finely milled in my opinion than the Laura Mercier translucent powder that comes in the pot. I find the original of this, you know, the bigger pot of it, to be almost kind of like fluffy, and then I find this one to be silky and quite like slippy. Like this powder just glides underneath the eyes so beautifully. It has soft light reflecting pearls in it, so it does bounce light off of the skin, and because of those, you know, pearls in the product and just the way it lays down on top of makeup, it has a very, very subtle, almost like airbrushing, blurring effect. So even when I put this product more so on this area of my face, I feel like it gives me a subtle blurring effect on visible pores or just texture in general, and I really do like the set down that it has under the eyes. I don't have issues with it, you know, causing a dry or, you know, altered looking under eye. Like, it keeps my makeup underneath my eyes looking the way that I want it to, and also helps me with far less having to do, you know, this throughout the day, which I typically have to do when I don't set with powder. So it is a wonderful powder, great for dry skin types, and you need such a tiny, tiny little dot of this that you won't go through it. It's deceiving because it looks really tiny, but the smallest amount goes the furthest way. It's kind of like Photoshop in a tub. It really does just blur you out and set that makeup in place. I'm very excited to share this bronzer with all of you. So this is the Sephora collection Micro Smooth Powder. I feel like in most of my videos, or just in general, I always tell you, like, if you can't find a bronzer that you like because you don't like the way that they lay on the skin, try looking at the warmer undertoned, deeper skin toned setting powders for the skin. So this is technically supposed to be a setting powder for the skin, and I think it would be phenomenal for an all over face set, because I feel like even you can see it's got that really nice radiant kind of like baked finish that a lot of those powders tend to have, where it's a little bit more luminous, a little bit more pearly on the skin, and I love this as a bronzer. So this is the shade Toffee, and I also had my eye on Ebony as well, but this is quite literally like one of the best formulated powders I've ever tried, and I think as a bronzer it's really something special because it goes on the skin like a setting powder would, so you can really build it up without it looking cakey, and you can just wear a sheer amount of it on the skin if you just want a touch of warmth. So this is a really great hack if you're somebody who wants a bronzing powder but you've just had bad luck with them. I would highly suggest trying the Micro Smooth from Sephora. I'm actually going to pick up another shade that's a little bit lighter than my skin tone so I can use it as more of a brightening powder, because I absolutely love the silky feel of this, the way it sets down on the skin, and it doesn't look like a bronzer because it's not too matte, it's not too luminous, it's not flecky with glitter. It just looks like a really soft airbrushed bronze powder on the skin. So very, very impressed with this. So Merit definitely makes some of my favorite formulated blushes, and what I really like about the Merit blushes is that they have customizable intensity and they're dewy on the cheek without looking greasy or oily. So I just think that they're a little bit more of a universally friendly formula. I unfortunately have all the colors in this packaging. They've repackaged. It's now in this gorgeous, chic little gold package. I wish I had that, but obviously the colors are still the same. So my favorite is Terracotta. I think it just complements any look. Terracotta is one of those shades that will not let you down. And in my opinion, this is one of the most perfect nude blushes that I own. I constantly find myself reaching for it, not only for the shade, but the formula is phenomenal in my opinion. So maybe if Terracotta is not your jam, they have Beverly Hills, which I really like. I like Mood, Cheeky. Just a big fan of the Merit blushes in general. If you are a cream blush lover, I think you will love these. And I think if you are a powder blush lover, I really think you'll love these as well. They're just really easy to work with. You can either apply them directly to the face, or you can pick them up on a brush and lightly apply them on the cheeks like that if you're somebody who likes a little bit more precision when you're applying your blush. But the Merit blushes are by far like my favorite. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Choosing the highlight was somewhat difficult for me because I really wanted to recommend a cream because that's what I always tend to lean into the most, but there's not a cream highlight that I can 100% recommend to you in good confidence that is not sticky in the slightest, except for the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish highlight, which is obviously above our $30 price point. And then I was like, you know, Benefit What's Up is a pretty nice dry cream highlight, but is that discontinued because it's not on the Sephora website? So he had to Benefit What's Up. So I really wanted to recommend you a powder highlight that can be still built up to different levels of intensity and still give you that glassy, wet shine on the skin and have that nice, buttery, emollient, nice experience of applying that powder. There is one powder highlight to rule them all, and it is the Jouer Skinny Dip Highlight. I have been loyal to this highlight for years. I kind of go in and out of loving it, but every time I use it, I remember how much I absolutely love this highlight. Not kidding you, I did both of my fiance's sister-in-law's wedding makeup, so I did both of those brides makeup, and this is the highlight that I used on the both of them because it photographs really beautifully on the skin when it's sheared out. It gives you like that gorgeous little supermodel pop on the top of the cheekbone, and it can be sheared out. And in my opinion, this is a highlight that, although it is powder, it looks like a cream on the skin. You can also build this up if you like a little bit more of an intense highlight. Obviously, I tend to go for more of that filtered soft highlight. I'm wearing it today. I like when you can't tell, you know, where the highlight starts and it just kind of catches the light. This is phenomenal, and when you touch this powder, honestly, you will know what I'm talking about. Like it, see, that's just it sheared out across the back of my hand. You can just get that really soft reflect on the skin, and it just looks so beautiful. Face, body, legs, definitely something special. And even though it's not cream, I feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds because it's a powder, but it looks like a cream, but it doesn't feel like a cream, so it's not sticky. For setting spray, I do want to recommend this one because it's available in 2 sizes, and the mini size of this Iconic London Prep Set Glow Spray is available in a $15 mini size. And the point that I'm trying to make with that is that you use so little of this spray that it's gonna take me forever to even use the full size. I don't even necessarily think I could use this full size in a year, because when I use setting sprays, I've had that Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless for like ever, and it's not going down. And it's the same with this Iconic London. It's barely gone down. So I think the mini size is a great option, especially if you just want to try something like this. I like that it increases my makeup's longevity and just gives me the softest bit of pearl to the skin, so I get a little bit of a sheer glow all over the face. instantaneously takes away a powdery or cakey look on the skin and just sets the skin looking really fresh, very kind of like Greek goddess glow vibes with this. Like, it's just a stunning setting spray, and I like that you can choose the smaller option if you don't want to go with the big size. But nothing but impressed and nothing but rave reviews from me for this setting mist. So I've really been leaning into this brow gel pretty much exclusively for the past few months. I just like how I can fill my brows in so zippity snappity fast, and I don't have to use a pencil. I find it to just be a much more foolproof way of doing my brows. I forgot to mention it, it's the Kosas Air Brow. And what I really like about the Kosas Air Brow, the gel itself, it actually has luminous pearls to it. You can see it in the light, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but it actually gives each brow hair a little bit of almost like highlight and contour, so that each brow hair is standing out on its own, and it gives you more of a multi-dimensional looking brow versus just this like stark, flat, one-dimensional pigmentation. So I'm finding that this looks really nice and natural, and it just gives your brows like I said, like a multi-dimensional look, and I really enjoy the way my brows look every time I use this, and it's just like so quick. So let's talk eye products. I'm just gonna tell you right now, blown away by the Sephora collection eye products. I have two different formulas to share with you. So these are the Sephora collection waterproof shadow and liner sticks, very similar to Laura Mercier, Bobbi Brown, like any of those shadow stick, nude sticks specifically too. They look like the ones from Nude Sticks, but these are so intensely pigmented. They last all day on your eyes because they are waterproof, and I feel like they're even more budge proof than the more luxury prestige brands of makeup pencils. I only have two shades. I've been using them. I really like them. So we have red terracotta and then brown copper. The red terracotta shade is one of the matte formulations of these pencils, and it is so intensely pigmented. It's also a really nice, rich, thick, creamy formulation. And then bronze copper just glides over the eyes like butter. They both blend out beautifully, and I really like applying them with a brush and just shearing them out and getting a wash of color on the lids or built up to intensity. But these are budge proof. You will need like a removing balm to take them off at the end of the night, or a makeup remover, but you can even use these as primers for powder shadows as well. They are just budge proof, intense, amazing. Now I also really love the Sephora collection single shadows, specifically this one shade. This is the shade Milky Way. Oh my god, this shade, this is like the one that you need. This one's a Metal Effect formula, but seriously, this is like, I cannot recommend you this specific shade in general. It is phenomenal. So you can really build this up and it just looks like liquid gold on your eyes, or you can really sheer it out to more of like a soft filtered glisten on the skin. It is not flecky, it is not glittery. The formula of the shadow itself too is like creamier than a Natasha Denona like shimmer. Like, I'm not kidding you, this formula rivals probably like some of the most expensive eyeshadows ever. Like, I am blown away by how emollient and creamy and pigmented and versatile this shade Milky Way is. It is beautiful. For the matte formulas, which I also find to be insanely pigmented, silky, smooth, really wonderful. So I have Tree Hugger to just emphasize a little bit around my lash line, and then I used the shade Sand Dunes to just intensify the crease, and I also have Sand Dunes on the lower lash line today as well. I was also super excited to see that Sephora collection has a chocolate brown liquid liner. Chocolate brown liquid liner is my absolute favorite. It's really hard to find that like genuinely like espresso bean shade of liquid brown eyeliner. Marc Jacobs Beauty had one called Choco Lacquer, and it was stunning. I still have it. I don't use it, but I still have it just because I loved Marc Jacobs Beauty, and Marc Jacobs Beauty is no more, but I loved that eyeliner. This is so close. I feel like it's definitely similar enough that I get the same effect. A really intensely rich espresso bean brown. So wonderful if you're somebody who wants a more intensified lash line, but you don't want to use black because you're just not into black liquid liner. This still gives you the sultriness and the extra dimension, and it just makes your eyes stand out and pop a little bit more, but it's not as harsh as black. And they did it right with this shade. So this is the satin chocolate brown. Beautiful, like nothing but, I mean, the Sephora collection eye products, I will be getting more. My favorite mascara right now from Sephora is actually under $30. So I was excited to see that this hit the price point marker. So this is Benefit's Bad Gal Bang. The packaging of Benefit products, I don't know what is going on, but they are so obnoxious. Like I don't know. I just don't love this. But the mascara itself is so good. It gives you lash extensions. It gives you clean length and just a little bit of volume, but not a ton. Enough that you can really build it up on the lower lashes for a lot of length and, you know, separation without it getting clumpy or spidery, which is what I really like about it. Hold my lashes in a curl all day long. My lashes don't have issues with, you know, smudging up on the top lash line or underneath the eye, because this is a, you know, waterproof formula, but still some of the waterproof formulas do smudge. And I've been using this for like 4 months at this point. I really like it. Highly, highly recommend Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Next, we're gonna talk about lip products. So I've raved about this for years. You're probably tired of hearing me talk about it, but I did feel like we had to throw in some Charlotte Tilbury because this is under the $30 price point. The Iconic Nude Lip Cheat. I won't go on about it, but it's definitely my favorite lip liner. So I love that. I would highly recommend it. They last a really long time on the lips. They are pretty resilient to eating and drinking. So you'll have far less touch-ups throughout the day, and Iconic Nude is just such a wonderful shade if you especially like to overline your lips like I do. I always overline my lips. I just love cheating the size of them, and I think this is wonderful. A really great silky smooth lip pencil is also from Sephora collection. So impressed with Sephora collection, but they have a lot of products that are under the $30 price point, and these are great. So this one I have is in the shade Knock on Wood. It's a really nice mid-toned brown, not too warm, not too cool, just a nice subtle bit of fleshiness to where you can still use it to overline your lips. It's creamy, it's smooth, there's no tugging. It has a really nice luxurious formula, and I'd highly recommend. So I think the formula is wonderful, and it's a beautiful shade as well. So as far as lip products go, I wanted to recommend to you 3 different formulas or types of products, if you will, that are all some of my personal favorites right now. So the first is the Mario Moisture Glow Lip Plumping Serum. This is really nice because it's quite versatile. You can apply it sheer and it's just going to be a soft, you know, glow on the lips, or you can really build it up, and it does get quite opaque. Like, it definitely builds up enough to where you get some coverage and a good amount of color on the lips, and they're just ultra shiny. I love these like lip gloss type products that come and stick. I find them to be shinier than some lip glosses even. So this is beautiful. And then you can actually get a NARS lipstick. The NARS lipsticks on Sephora are $26. Had to recommend to you my favorite nude of all time, Belle de Jour by NARS. I love wearing this just like a little bit sheared out on the lips. I think it just gives me a beautiful, like light, milky glow, and I think it looks so nice just every day, but also with really intense smoky look. I feel like this is such a beautiful, like milky caramel, very light, very beige, but still has a good amount of warmth to it so that it doesn't completely wash you out and it doesn't look pasty. And I just like it how it has that really nice like sheer creamy finish on the lips. I just think Belle de Jour, beautiful. And then the last gloss I'm gonna recommend is a newer favorite, but I really have been wearing this pretty much like every weekend or whenever I go out. I just really like the way it looks. So it's the Patrick Ta Full Syringe Major Volume Plumping Gloss. This is by far one of the most plumping glosses I've tried. A lot of times, you know, they're very irritating and agitating on the lips, and they give me eczema. A lot of lip plumpers give me eczema around the mouth area, and it takes months for that hyperpigmentation to fade. So it's not really worth it for me right now, but I love this. I think this shade too, it's what I'm wearing on my lips. I like how it just gives you that little bit of sheer pinky jelly sheen, but it's not too punchy because I really don't like super punchy glosses, like I just feel like they're not super flattering. I like something more subtle that doesn't look as in your face, and I feel like you get that with this. And it's just like a nice soft strawberry tint to the lips. So still complimentary if you have a similar skin tone to me. I know punchy colors are a little bit of a toss-up for medium skin tones, but you can see, I think it's just really nice and fresh and quite feminine. All right, so that is everything for this Best of Sephora under $30 video. I really wanted to put an emphasis on, you know, this would be a great way to start a starter kit, if you will, of a bunch of products that are under the $30 price point, but also let alone like some of the best products at Sephora are under the $30 price point. I'm also going to be doing one of Best at Sephora under $50 because some of my personal favorites are just shy of being a little bit above $30, but I also think $50, there's some really great gems in that arena as well where they're worth the investment, especially if it's going to be a product that you can get a lot of use out of. So I really wanted to emphasize in this video versatile products and great core everyday products. So we didn't talk about a lot of like crazy makeup products or things that you're only going to use once in a while. These are products that if you have kind of like an everyday makeup routine, products that you'll actually use, no filler, no fluff, just very versatile, multi-use, everyday type of products. So I really hope that you found this helpful. Please let me know if the $50 one would be something that you'd be interested in watching as well. I will list and link every single product in the description box down below for you, as well as tools, so brushes that I used and everything. But other than that, I would love it so much if you would just leave comments and say hi so we can talk to each other. And if you would come follow me on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys in the comments and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye everyone.